Fight Time Network. Welcome back to the channel. We got Lee here, and we got UFC recap of Macau, China this weekend. How you doing, Lee?
Pretty good, pretty good. It is the fight card we didn't know we needed. It may have
Oh
been an
man,
early start time, but it was all action all the way through. That was one of the wildest cards, I guess, worth waking up for.
oh for sure, no doubt. So first fight of the night we had was Ozzy Diaz versus Zhang Ming Yang, light heavyweight. Ended up with a knockout round one. What do you think about that one, Lee?
He is a very, very large human being. I was watching tape on him in there, but like just when he walked into the octagon, Minyang Zhang, he's a massive dude, man. Like, geez, and he's just built rock solid. Like, oh my god. Yeah, it didn't take him too long to put Diaz away. I thought Diaz may have had a little bit more of a fight into that, like because the only time he's really been put out like that was against Joe Pyfer. But Min Yang Zhang, man, it's going to be interesting to see what he does next. A very, very large man looking
Yeah,
at
I
you.
mean, start off the rip, man. He was just walking him down hard, and he kept great distance. He was stepping into some jabs and things like that, but what do you know? He ended up slipping the jab. Beautiful elbow.
Oh yeah, right inside. You couldn't even see what it really was. Like the commentators thought it was a hook that he might have got him with, and
Right.
it wasn't until they went around to the other angle that he just oh man, just right on the inside, puts him away. First round finish. It'll be interesting to see who they match him up with next.
Oh, I agree. This future's bright. I mean, he's only 26 years old, man. I mean, he was walking into
Oh
Diaz's shots, had no respect for him. I mean, Diaz, made a mistake
yeah.
a couple times, but he was never backing up. Hell of a fight.
No, no, he just right walked down and he found the most beautiful elbow. Pretty sure he got the bonus for that too, actually.
There was about, I think he handed out 5 performance of the night's bonuses. So
Yeah,
he definitely had
it was
choices.
one of those cards.
All right, moving on. Next fight was Carlos Ulberg versus Volkan Oestremir. We had a decision here by Ulberg. No crazy knockouts, but
Yeah,
they did throw down, man. I can't believe nobody went to sleep.
absolutely, they were going back and forth. Ozdemir was putting in some good shots too. There was a couple of times where I was like, "Oh man, this could go the wrong way for Allberg." But Allberg ultimately was picking his shots wisely, getting in there. He landed quite a few. He had lots of chances to potentially end it, but they went the entire 15. But great fight to watch nonetheless. At any moment, one of those big boys could have just went to sleep.
Oh yeah, facts, man. And I'm really impressed. Ulberg on his feet, he was cutting angles off the cage, going right. Oh, slip, 45-degree out. He wasn't sticking in one place, man. He looked really amazing.
Yeah,
And
it was really interesting to
Oyster's
see him
really slow.
actually. Yeah, yeah, to actually go the distance though to see what he would do with all three rounds. Since I
Right.
mean, the last five fights you've seen him in there for, um, at the most a few minutes, and he's getting knockout after knockout. So it's good to see. It's good to see that he has it in him to pull in a 3 round decision, and ultimately it's on to the next one with him.
Oh, I'm gonna agree with you. I mean, he still looked pretty fresh in the third.
Yeah, yeah.
He was moving quick, still cutting angles, didn't get too heavy on his feet still.
Yeah, and he
Who with a
works with some of the
standing hammer fist, dude?
yeah,
Wow. Just
yeah,
wow.
yeah. I saw that. Yeah,
What was that? Like, just I don't remember
yeah,
him normally doing that.
yeah. And he works with some of the best counter strikers in the world at City Kickboxing there, and he was definitely slipping and ripping a few things.
Hell yeah. Holberg by decision. We love that he went the distance. Moving on, we got Wang Kong versus Gabriela Fernandez.
Oh
Biggest upset of
my,
the card.
yeah,
One of the biggest upsets of the year, truthfully, when it comes to
yeah.
odds.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Kong Wang opened, I think, or sorry, closed at a -600, and up until that mistake, she was winning that fight. She was on the road to get a decision victory. Ultimately, I think she had 2 rounds in the bag at that point, or a round and a half in the bag, and then yeah, just made a mistake with that kick and got caught. taken
Yeah,
down
Wayne
and
Coleman
choke.
was doing amazing with going with to the body. She
Yeah.
was just ripping to the body, man.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, Fernandez came out acting like she wasn't even losing. Like she
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
even, I don't know, it didn't get to her, man. She came out in the third like she did in the first.
Yeah, yeah, that mental prowess of her, I got to commend her for that. Of knowing that she's down and pushing it to the point where she gets a fantastic finish in highlight fashion, like she did, taking out a -600 favorite and
Right. Yeah, I
making her.
actually ended up catching her at a plus 750, man.
Yeah, yeah, that is wild, man. That was she was definitely the live dog. Congrats to all those that cashed in on her or had there. But I had Wang, and I imagine a majority of the population
Right.
did. But that's why we love MMA. If we knew it was going to happen every week, we'd have nothing to talk about.
But how the fight actually ended up ended, Wayne Kong came into the pocket. Fernandez ended up slipping back and throwing a head kick pretty much in the pocket, man, and ended up getting on her back and, choking her out. It was sweet. Congrats to
Yeah, she
Fernandez. It was amazing. Kept her head together. She knew she was down and came out
she
big. That's all I gotta say
yeah,
is I'm happy to see. I'm excited to see who she actually gets matched up with next too, because now we know she's capable of on the feet
absolutely,
and her grappling is amazing.
and can pull those rabbits out of the hat when it's needed, and her back's
Right.
against the wall.
Perfect. Fernandez, beautiful knockout. Upset China. All right, moving on. We got Song Kanan versus Muslim Salikov. This fight did
Oh
not go out as
man,
we had planned. Muslim Salikov came out beautiful. First round KO. What's your insight on
yeah,
it, Lee?
it was like the duel of the spinning back kick. Because Solikov landed, but Kongs ultimately was missed the first time. I think in the like about a minute into the first round, there he threw the spinning back kick, his miss, and then Solikov's landed flush.
Yeah, beautiful, unblocked. I don't know what old boy was doing. Why he's blocking the body first round.
Yeah,
Like
I don't think he saw it. I don't
that's
think he
true.
saw that coming, man. He walked right into that, and oh man. Good on Salikov. Nobody expected that out of him. A 40-year-old man wins with a spinning back kick to the dome. That gives hope to all of us older athletes still
Right.
doing it. That we,
But it was awesome for him. I mean,
beautiful.
apparently Song Kanan, has a lot of work, and everybody's talked, even the fights he's had, his cage awareness, some of the worst they've ever seen. So
Yeah,
I mean, it kind of went hand in hand with a veteran. He probably saw that. Maybe he
yeah,
never blocks up there. Game over, dude. I mean, you can't even have awareness in the first round like that. Why
yeah,
are you not
absolutely.
blocking your head in the first round? He never went to the body. So I
No,
guess it's interesting where Kanan's going to sit now. Because I mean, not sure. They look pretty bad.
yeah, it's unfortunate. I did expect more out of Kanan. I did have him picked to win ultimately.
Right.
And I mean Solikov definitely can pull it out as the results have shown. But yeah, very unfortunate for Kanan. I don't know if there's another matchup for him that's gonna be beyond a first round knockout in the UFC. Maybe
Right.
we see him in the PFL soon. As for Solikov, those Russian guys are probably going to do it until like until the wheels fall off. We'll probably see him throwing spinning back kicks at 50.
Right. I mean, after a knockout like that, how ain't you gonna give him another fight? I mean, hell,
Yeah,
it was beautiful. All right, perfect. Salikov, KO round one. Moving on, Yan Jianan versus Tabitha Ricci. About a damn
yeah,
clinic by Jianan, man. What?
absolutely. And
Ricci
for
only
her,
hit how many? 15 strike? No, that's a percentage. Yeah, 15 strikes the whole fight.
yeah, she was just
15 minutes.
backpedaling and backpedaling and backpedaling. I mean, there was a chance where I was like, okay, maybe she got a not necessarily a takedown, but she got her to turn. I think Ricci was on her back at one point, very, very briefly. But yeah, she totally shut down Ricci's game. Usually Ricci makes, everybody come to her, and ultimately it was just a great clinic by Shaun.
Yeah, definitely what I see. Her counters were amazing. And what I really saw with Ricci, man, she was throwing to close the distance, would
Yeah,
close the distance, but then leave the pocket without throwing anything
yeah,
and trying to get back out. And that's where Jan was literally the whole time, over and over and over and over and
yeah,
over and over.
yeah. Ricci definitely needed to be a lot more relentless with the wrestling in order to be, because she's just gonna get pieced out. She was not the better striker in that matchup, as you can see by the numbers. And ultimately,
Yeah.
Ricci's game plan ultimately was a little slow. And yeah, she just needed, if she was gonna wrestle her, she needed to definitely do it come out and do it a lot more than what she did.
Yeah, 17 for 106. She was literally to close the distance and she wasn't hitting. And then just that's all I saw, man. And Jan
Yeah,
didn't chase her. She kept her composure, looked great,
yeah,
hit
absolutely.
over 50% of her punches, looked amazing. Bright future
Yeah,
for her. I'm not really sure what's going to happen to Ricci now. That's going to be a hard matchup, knowing you can't really.
they'll probably give her another matchup. There's lots of fights that I give. I mean,
Yeah,
that's only I mean, Ricci hasn't lost very much there too, and she was coming off a good run. So I imagine he'll find up a favorable matchup that can hopefully provide some excitement, and hopefully she finds a way to implement her style where she wins, where she's pushing people up against the cage and utilizing her wrestling a lot more.
right. Perfect. Yadyanji Anand by decision. Moving on to the main event. Peter Yan versus Davison Figueiredo. Win all 25 minutes. Lee. Yan looked great. Figgy looked discouraged, but that's how Figgy fights,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely, man. The techniques that Peter Yan was putting on. Now, we saw him do that with Yudong Song. However, there wasn't too much stock put in Yudong Song coming off of some of the losses that he's had. And for Peter Yan to come back and do that after fighting title contender after title contender and taking on Song, it was like, okay, well, that's what we expect out of Peter Yan. But for him to do that to Figueredo, whew, I it is something else. Like that one takedown he had where he threw the body kick and then stepped across and put him to his back.
Yeah.
That's like, oh my god, that's every wrestler, every grappler was just foaming at the
Figgy hit
mouth
him with a
watching
great
that.
takedown, what, like 2 minutes in first? He hit
Yeah,
him with a
yeah,
great leg step inside trip. Also, and
yeah.
then Peter Yan, the first round, baby, just like, who, what?
Yeah,
Unexpected.
just
Oh, man.
yeah, just that little axe throw, boom. He's and then he's on the ground. He set it up perfectly with the body kick too, because you watch Figueiredo go to block the body kick, and he's
Yep.
there, he's tripping him, he's putting him on the ground.
But even when Figgy took him down, man, even in the first, Jan, after 2.5 minutes, reversed him. Figgy couldn't
Yeah,
hold him down at all. I mean, it's pretty much back and forth with that. Figgy got up every time too, but not as fast.
yeah. Oh,
In
absolutely.
hell, I mean, he outstruck, dude, Jan threw 263 strikes, dude. Landed 190, 72% compared to 53 hit by Figgy, man. That's just pretty much where it was at. The whole fight, it
Yeah,
was just Jan was coming on, hitting three, four, five, six. Figgy coming in, maybe hitting one, two, three, or four maximum in his best combos.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
And Jan's uppercut was amazing. His timing on that in the pocket. Figgy had no answer for that.
Yeah.
And Jan's takedown defense was amazing. I mean, he 2
Mhm.
for 8 takedowns by Figgy. So I mean, what's up for Peter Yan? I mean, title shot.
So they're talking, like, I mean, there's been all sorts of talk on social media about Marab, but
I don't like that
personally,
matchup, man.
I'm not very
Is
excited about that matchup. But I mean, ultimately, I think the win, if Figueredo would have got the win here, it would have done him more for him in the bantamweight than it does for Peter Yan in bantamweight. I don't
yeah,
think
you're
Peter
right.
Yan probably has another fight. I think he's going to have another fight in between this one before he gets at that title contention. And ultimately, what I would actually like him to see, I'd like him to see fight Cheeto Vera. That would be a good one at
Ooh,
bantamweight.
that would be a really good one. Yeah, I'm not
Just
sure. What do you think about for Figgy though? I mean, he's 36 years old. He just lost his title contention. I mean,
yeah,
who you put up
it,
against him? What are you thinking about that?
That's a very tough one because it's just I don't know who else you get in the bantamweight division. Like I mean, it's a stacked division. There's no shortage of fighters
No
ultimately.
kidding.
But in terms of who wants to fight a flyweight that just or a former flyweight that just lost to Peter Yan to raise their stock up in the top 5 or top 15. I think we probably get one of these hype guys that are probably a top 15 to top 10. They're going to face him up with next ultimately if he's staying in bantamweight or if he's even staying. Man, the guy's had a good
Yeah,
run.
he has true. I
He's
mean,
got had a
he
fantastic
still looked
career.
really good though. He didn't look gassed even at 5. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm still really he's got a few more fights in this weight class, and people still better watch out for him. Because
yeah,
truthfully, if he had a different game plan, it might
yeah,
have changed up a little differently. And maybe he didn't think that Young
yeah,
was going to come in like that and be so dominant on the feet, in and out, in the pocket. I think he underestimated his striking big time.
yeah. Or if the UFC does make Marab and Yan, then they give Figueiredo Vera. That would also be interesting as well. Vera's coming off a loss too, so
Yeah, true that. All
because
righty, perfect. Well, that is y'all's UFC recap of Macau, China. It was an early card, but it was worth getting up for.
absolutely. There's daylight savings time, and UFC China in November is going to mess with everybody's sleep for years to come.
Oh, yeah, factual. That is factual. All right, perfect. That's your recap. See y'all next time. Fight Time Network.